Welcome to the stream. If your first time here, buckle up for the ride. Hey, you know kid, get up on him. If you're looking for him, better hit the gas. This stream, it be meant for everybody, but if you in the lobby, he gon' whoop your ass. From the starting line until the last lap, he's gon' give it all that he got. Other drivers better keep it clean, cause if they driving dirty, they get mod. Hey, kid up on the track, anything that he can't do, he be hitting corners with the pedal down. If you see him coming, make room. He be hungry for the win. Call him kitty, play with his food. If you're running on the last lap, with him by your side, you might lose. You know kid, get up on him. If you're looking for him, better hit the gas. This stream, it be meant for everybody, but if you in the lobby, he gon' whoop your ass. From the starting line until the last lap, he's gon' give it all that he got. Other drivers better keep it clean, cause if they driving dirty, they get mod. I got this whole team popping like they kernels in a skillet. It don't matter what you do, we don't accept no less than winning. Man, we like to call him Photo, cause he get a photo finish. Moto pedal to the metal, Oasis pace is so ridiculous. Jay, he might be on controller, but please don't get it twisted, homie. You don't stand a chance, homie, you don't stand a chance. Kid don't play that raw, I go by kid, but he the man, man. You ain't skilled as him, you can't provide what he demands. Real squad racing, don't play with us, this crew amazing. Real squad racing, RSR, man, we ain't playing. Real squad racing, real squad racing. Choicey, got a choice, he either let you win or you gon' lose. Nugs like a chicken nugget, hit the gas and dip on you. You best make way for RSR, get out the way, we coming through. Hey, welcome to the stream. If your first time here, buckle up for the ride. Hey, you know kid, get up on him. If you're looking for him, better hit the gas. This stream, it be meant for everybody, but if you in the lobby, he gon' whoop your ass. From the starting line until the last lap, he's gon' give it all that he got. Other drivers better keep it clean, cause if they driving dirty, they get mod. Hey, kid up on the track, anything that he can't do, he be hitting corners with the pedal down. If you see him coming, make room. He be hungry for the win. Call him kitty, play with his food. If you're running on the last lap, with him by your side, you might lose. You know kid, get up on him. If you're looking for him, better hit the gas. This stream, it be meant for everybody, but if you in the lobby, he gon' whoop your ass. From the starting line until the last lap, he's gon' give it all that he got. Other drivers better keep it clean, cause if they driving dirty, they get mod. I got this whole team popping like they kernels in a skillet. It don't matter what you do, we don't accept no less than winning. Man, we like to call him Photo, cause he get a photo finish. Moto pedal.
What's going on, everybody? Guys, I'm back. It's my first day back in a little while, actually. My first day back today, in almost close to a week streaming, I believe. I am going to be, unfortunately, only a short stream today, probably just a 3-hour stream. I have work today, and I work the afternoon, so unable to participate in today's Vibe League race. Unfortunately, Exode's going to be out there repping us by himself today. Couldn't get off of work. I had to take off work the other day because we've been looking at houses and stuff. So I've been pretty busy in that regard. But I'm glad to be back for a little bit. I'm going to try and get a couple more hours on the daily race B, before we head into next week, because who knows, maybe next week's races aren't as good. Maybe they're not tracks that I'm good at, and maybe I'm not comfortable on those tracks next week to run the dailies. So I want to get as much DR now as I possibly can until they change. Alrighty, everybody. It feels good to be back on the stream, man. It really does. Trying to troubleshoot why I'm not getting any game sound to come out of my Elgato. But I think we're good. Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, we're back, man. We're back today. We're gonna do a short 3-hour stream. I know that Triple T has been asking me when I'm gonna be live next. I keep telling him, this is when I'll be live, and then things pop up. The other day I was awake for like I think 38 hours. By the time I actually fell asleep, we went looking at houses and stuff. So I've been super busy, and now that I'm back to work and everything, add that and school and everything into the mix. And man, dude, it's been hectic for me the last week and a half. So I'm glad to be back today. I'm only gonna be live for about 3 hours. Then I have work. So I am gonna miss the Vibe League race today. Exode is gonna go out. I've already let everybody know that's a part of the Vibe League. Exode's gonna go out and represent us by himself today. And hopefully, he can get a good finish and bring something home for us points wise. And then next week I'll be back running the Vibe League all the same. I should have off every Sunday. After today, I got called into work, so unfortunately, when my job doesn't have anybody to cover, I'm the guy that they rely on. So I'll be doing that today. But I'm just glad to be back and running the stream, man. It feels good. Um, this week's daily race B is Missouri. I haven't streamed since they dropped this daily race. But man, dude, I've been climbing. I'm really, really consistent at this track. I like this track a lot. I don't know why. I just mesh well with it. I don't know exactly what it is about it. Maybe it's just the track time, you know. But the track type, and my track time, the amount of time that I've spent in the car on this track. But I've been having a blast, guys, with this race this week. And it does benefit a little bit. It does benefit me because I think week 6 of the Vibe League is Lake Missouri on mediums. So that's cool. I'll get a little bit of practice in, on that, and then actually be able to race a track that I'm really good at. And the last time, week 2, we raced a track that I'm pretty good at Spa, I ended up getting P3. So I'm super excited to kind of see what week 6 is like. But for now, my focus is on next week, week 5, which is the Nürburgring. So that's going to be fun because I'm not the greatest at that track. I struggle there. So at every layout, I struggle there. So we'll see. I'm going to spend a lot of time this week there, especially if the dailies are not as good as this week to me. So, I mean, I guess today's stream is going to be 3 hours long. We're going to jump right into practice. I don't know if I'm going to catch this race just because it's a minute away and I want to warm up a little bit before we just dive right into the race. But man, dude, this week has been great. I hit A last week. I hit A. Didn't do a single race after I hit A because I was a little scared of not doing great at those tracks because I wasn't the greatest at the tracks that they had to offer. Spa, I'm pretty good at, but once you get up into a certain, position, the skill level changes. So, I didn't feel comfortable there trying to climb in DR, but this week, when Missouri came out and it was medium tires, I definitely was all over it. I set a pretty good time. I should still be under the top 1K in the world. Yeah, I'm 519 in the world position wise. So I usually start in a pretty good spot on the grid. It's frustrating. I wish that I was able to spend a little bit more time this week practicing here, and finding that missing time, because there's definitely places on the track where I know I'm missing time, and if I had the time this week to be able to kind of hone in on that and get to a place where I felt like, I was running as fast as possible, then I think that I could probably have broken maybe into the top like 250, maybe top 300. Because I know I do have a really low 155 in me. It's just having the time to be able to give the game in order to do that. So, And I mean, consistently, I'm running 156 pace. The races are a little bit more rough because there is tire wear. And I do start, well, not top split kind of, but I do start, P3, P4, P5, depending on who's in my lobby now. And you kind of get caught up throughout the race, so your pace does slow down a little bit. So instead of 156s or 155s, if there's heavy traffic, you're gonna slow down a little bit, and not run that pace. So it kind of makes the races a lot more interesting with custom slip being on. So, but I'm gonna jump in and practice, guys. I have about 15 minutes until, or 25 minutes, I think, probably, until the next race is available. So just gonna warm up and try and have some fun today, man. You know what I mean? I've met some really cool people and some really fast people since I hit A, and I've already learned a lot. So I'm looking forward to, next week, seeing what the tracks are, racing against these people. Next week as well. Maybe it's a track that I'm not super familiar with. Um, and I like being in those positions. I like, kind of being uncomfortable and having to learn, and get better. And I like that you have only a week to do it because it kind of forces you to, to bite your bottom lip a little bit and put in more effort. Man, though, how is everybody doing, dude? I'm glad to be back, man. I'm glad, even though it's only for 3 hours today. First lap of the day is always pretty rough. All right. So about a second slower on the first lap of the day than my fastest lap time. And to be fair, like 156s is pretty good race pace, especially when you're racing tight with a lot of people with custom slip. Oh, what's up, Reborn? How you doing, man? What's up, kid? Killer time. Destroyed mine with almost 2 seconds. Well done. My aim is A minus. LOL. He said A minus. My aim is A minus. Dude, I saved my 156.2. If you want to check that out, give it a go. I saved that lap replay so you can kind of chase that ghost, and kind of get a reference of it. To be fair, like, bro, like there's certain spots on the track that it's just mainly like knowing when you can let it coast, when to give it gas. Like all those minor details play a huge role. Trail braking, throttle control, And knowing when to give it to Beans as far as our dub says. But yeah, I'm in a good place, man. My first lap in about a day and a half. My first lap in a day and a half, 156.7. But I'm really fast on this track, bro. So, I can't say really fast. I'm averagely fast. Really fast is 154s, but Tuesday was my last time on that track though. Yeah, yeah. See, if you were to give it time, you gotta give it a little bit of time. Me, like, bro, I am actually I'm gonna go register for the next race. But since this week is Missouri, I was just telling everybody I want this track to stay. I love this track, so while it's here before it goes away, I'm gonna farm the DR. But like, look, a lot of these people I met from my last couple of lobbies, you have 154.9, like, and those two up top are sisters. You know what I mean? They're a sister duo. That's pretty cool. So, I met them through these lobbies. Captain Slowly, I met him through these lobbies. So, yeah, man, I actually added both of his accounts. Could get a 56, I am sure, but 55, nope. Yeah, dude, I knew going into this week, like, if I was able to give it a little bit of time, I could probably break 55. I didn't think 55.7. I was thinking like maybe 55.9, barely 55. But bro, let me tell you, like, I think if you gave it the time, bro, you could get 55. You're not you and we're on the same skill level. You know what I mean? So I think that you could do it. I have high faith in you. But it is tough though. Like one thing that kind of put it into perspective for me. Let me get back out so I could register for the next one if I can. One thing that put it into perspective for me was I hit this yesterday right before we left to go look at another house, and I hit 500 was that, and it's been how many hours? I'm gonna say like 14 hours, and I've only dropped 21 places. So now you're getting like once you hit 55, that's when your place is kind of going to hold where it's at, you know. But like I was saying, race pace wise, don't feel bad if you're 157 low or 157 or 156 high, because once you get into these lobbies with these people who are running the consistent times, you're going to be battling a good majority of the race. You're running the same lines, race lines change if you're trying to overtake somebody, if you're trying to avoid an accident, all these things play variables. So like, too much faith in me? Nah, man. You got to believe in yourself, bro. You're fast. And to be fair, like, all it is, spend the time on the track. I haven't had much time this week, but Missouri is probably the track that I have the most hours on. So it does make sense. And then, bro, study the ghosts, um, set up your ghost settings the proper way so they're leading you a little bit so you can kind of see where they're braking before they even brake, where they're leaning in the turn. Watch their replays and just look at their brake and their throttle input and see where they're giving it gas, where they're not giving it gas, how much brake are they giving it in this corner. Like it's an effort game, and you have the skill level to hit that. Yeah, yeah, race pace is much different. I was getting in a race the other day with people whose fastest time was like 154.6, and um their race pace, their laps were like 156s, 157s. So like I mean, and it varies. Don't get me wrong. I was in a race the other day where someone put up a 54 in the race. You know what I mean? So it's definitely, you know, it varies depending on the lobby you're in. But I've been having a lot of fun here, and I'm at a place now, like, I hit A last week, like, just before the new dailies changed over. And this is where I'm at right now. I'm almost halfway through A, just off of this. Hate that track with a passion. Oh, bro, I just got to show you. I got to show you how to race it. That's all. That's all, dude. So all the heavy hitters are gonna come out. I figure what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it like a race, and like since it's Sunday, people might be getting a little dirty trying to get their DR back up, or climb into the next rank or whatever. So if it does get to that point, I'm probably gonna just not do the daily race until next week. You gonna get there for sure? I hope so, dude. A plus A was my goal when I got the game, right? Because A plus was like a little bit out of sight. My big goal was I want to hit A rating in under 100 races, and I did. I hit A rating in 91 races. So, but now that I'm there, I do want to hit A plus. I don't really have like a race, limit of, do I want to hit this rating in under this amount of, this amount of races, but I want to hit A plus. That's my goal. And then I feel like once I do hit A plus, there's really probably no reason for me to continue to do the dailies. Then I'll be able to focus on some other things, and do host my own lobbies and kind of build my own platform there, like Photo and all those guys have. I want to go back to E or C, less stress for me. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, well, it is less stressful, but then you also have to like worry about racecraft and drivers not having high race IQ. Like, dude, in these lobbies, like, let me give you this for instance, right? I was in a race with Captain Slowly, right? And he's significantly faster than me pace wise, like much more consistent. But there was one race where we were neck and neck. There was an accident. We were neck and neck. We were battling, a good majority of the race, and we were going into one of the final turns on this track, and I'm trying to think of what turn it is. It's the rhythm section is what I like to call it, where it's like the long right hander before you take the big left hander into the final turn. Um, and I had the inside, and he could have very well fought me on that. But instead of going wide and trying to overshoot me and cause an accident and ruin both of our races, he just backed off, and he backed off, and he waited until the next opportunity, and there wasn't an opportunity, so he just let me go. You know what I mean? Whereas to like in E rating lobbies and C rated lobbies, like they're gonna be like, I can't settle for second if I can't have first. Neither one of us can. Like there's a lot of that down there. So, and that's one thing I've learned is just being patient, bro. Like if someone's running faster than me, I'm gonna let them ahead of me because I'm gonna follow in your draft. I'm gonna wait for my moment. If it comes, I'll overtake you. If it's not, why am I gonna ruin your race for one place? Let my SR rating go down to gain one place. But it's very much like you have to race the race that's being raced around you, if that makes sense. There's been a couple races where people make contact and they rub, and that's perfectly fine as long as I don't spin out or, get like bumped into the wall, significantly or bombed, you know. I have no problem with rubbing a little bit, but I do not miss like people diving into the corner to use your car as their brake, like you don't get that as often. Now don't get me wrong, it does happen still here, but I do have to make an alt account though and go back and set it up for the UK. Yeah, they're for sure good racers there. For most part, I would be faster than them in ECB lobbies. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Oh, I mean, a big thing is your quality time too. Like, if you set a really good quality time that low, like everybody's gonna know, right? If you're an E-rated driver and you're running 55s or 54s or 56s or even 57s, like they're gonna know. Unless you're racing against other drivers who have alt accounts as well, like you're going to smoke people, but you're also going to be a target. Like, you're starting in the front, you're the rabbit, so, like, you know what I mean? People are going to take you out. You have to deal with that, as long as you can get through, like, the first corner or two against drivers who are newer to the game or don't play, sport mode as often, like, you should be fine, you know? I've seen that in A and A plus. Yeah, I've dealt with that a couple of times. Mainly just, and it's not like dive bomb me, ruin my race type thing. It's more like they'll like, for instance, that long straight before the right hairpin. Um, they'll they'll bomb on the inside, they'll break late, and then they'll rub against me and get the advantage coming out of the corner because I have to go wider off my line and slower. So they'll shoot out, you know what I mean? They'll do that, which I consider to be a dive bomb, but I'm not going to complain like they're literally just blowing me off the track, you know what I mean? Did that with my 3 alter accounts, start with no quali. Oh yeah, because if you do quali, then you're gonna probably get placed with the drivers of similar times. It does make sense. Two accounts? Oh, sheesh. I messed that all up. Gosh darn it. Right there. Yep. Too slow. Just for the fun. No, 100%, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, it is much more enjoyable to race in those lobbies to an extent. I like the races that my heart is beating from the start. But after a while, man, like it does become a lot. You know what I mean? I messed that up too. I don't think I'm warmed up enough, but we're gonna find out. That So I recognized Dada. That's it. I recognized Dada. 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 But see how close you are in this, in the top 3 or 4 or 5 places? Like, you're neck and neck, bro. The dailies sometimes mess up my mood, suck all joy out of me with too many. Other times, great racing with great people. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I agree. I can totally agree with that. You know, like if this race goes bad, I might just not do another one. That's, it does kill my mood a little bit, but also like I've been having a lot of success with them. Um, so like, you get a bad one every once in a while, it's okay. You know, it's when it's back to back to back to back to back, that's when it gets a little bit like much. Earlier in the week tends to be a little bit better than, Sundays, so we're going to find out really quick. Um, what this is like. 158.7. And as long as we don't end up back there, we're doing something good. You know what I mean? Like, eighth is kind of, I don't want to be an eighth. I want to be in the top 5 every time. That's where I want to be. But these guys are all quick. Oh, Reserva's in here. He's a little dirty, but it happens. He's one of those guys that bombs you in the corner. You're probably going to see it right off the rip. He might do it right in the first corner. Don't do it to me. Just take me inside, bro. see these guys? Look at these guys, dude. That's what I mean. Like, wait for these guys to take each other out. Like this guy, I guarantee you, he might try and force his way up, and it's going to knock them both off the track. Catch up, but right here, watch. You see that? Did you see that? And he did, look what he did to himself. He gave himself a penalty. And it's S7R, dude. Like, you always have to watch out for those guys, bro. Yeah, see? But the crazy thing, I saw it coming, bro. I saw it coming, so I just counter-steered. I just turned my wheel to the left and slid across the finish line. Thank you, man. That was a clean overtake. I feel like that was a clean overtake, you know? They wanted to fight like that, so... Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I went from what was that? P6, P5 to P4. Yeah, I went from P5 to P4. I'll take P4, you know, in these lobbies any day of the week, you know. Yeah, and he left right away. Like, don't be upset, bro. Don't be upset you lost. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I always expect that. You know what I mean? But like the one thing that I can appreciate about it is that they have control of their car. You know, where like if an A plus does like wreck me or like bump me too hard, usually I don't have to be like, okay, that was like an act of violence. You know, he didn't do it on purpose, but there are other drivers out there who will, you know, if you're passing them, you know, in the final turn, you know, attempt to take you out, you know, in a dirty way, you know, and but, you know, the universe always has its way, man. It'll always get you back. You know, look at that. He tried to do that to me, and rather than, you know, securing P5, he got slowed down and got P6 because he got a penalty for it. So, you know, I'm not worried, bro. You know, people will do like things like that to gain a little bit of, you know, dopamine in the moment, but life will always get them back. You know, do wrong and wrong shall be done to you. That's the way that it works. Um, I don't have a an account. I do get like other countries, you know, Brazil and Mexico and stuff like that. But I don't have like a UK account yet. Those are mayhem. Yeah. Yeah, I have a hard enough time. Like, there's like what from what I've realized too is that like I don't know if there's like this beef ongoing between Brazilians and Americans, but like a majority of the time when I get hit off the track, it's usually by somebody that's from Brazil, you know. And that's not against anybody who's from Brazil, you know what I mean? Like, it's just I feel like that's like the trend, you know. Maybe it's like a rivalry thing, you know. But even just then, that guy tried to clip me, and he was from America, so they're everywhere, you know? Yeah, yeah, you have a U.S. account, so you get to race with all of us, and you get to race with all of them, and but from what everyone has been telling me, the next thing I need to do is make a UK account. But the way I look at it, bro, like I think having access to that for streaming would be great. You know, that the community over there is massive. You know what I mean? Like racing is huge over there. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But outside of that, there's really no major benefit. You know, maybe just meeting people like networking and getting to race with, you know, a certain, you know, class of driver, you know, like maybe some of the world finalists and all that stuff. But yeah, dude, I mean, for now, I got to get better at the game and master the game because I do know that the level of talent over in the UK is significantly, or even just Europe in general, is just significantly higher. They have different thresholds of skill. So, am I in the? No, I'm in the quali. I'm not even in the race version. Oh, I just went right back into it. Look at me go. I wish there was a way for me to set the tires to constantly be on. I don't know why. Like every single time I back out of the menu, I have to put tires back on the car. Like it's almost like if in real life I walked out of the room and my tires went back to a different pair, and every time I walked back in the room, I have to put new tires back on the car. If the lobbies in Europe are mayhem, I jump to USA or Australian account. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Set tires to SHM. Soft, hard, medium. What do you mean? Is it like a mode that you can put it in so where like it just locks whatever tire you have on? Or like you hard set it to that tire so like every car you have always starts on that specific set of tires? Hopefully Dutta is in this lobby. I need to try and get I need to try and finish above him. Cool. Yeah, I'll check that out because it'll definitely help. It's very like minuscule. It's not that big of a deal, but it does like settings in the garage, tires. That's it. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say like it's not that big of a deal. It takes 2 seconds, but like it's tedious to have to like jump in and change it every time. So that'll help a lot. I'm still learning all these things, dude. I'm still new, you know. I'm still less than 5 months on this game. I think I made it 3 months and didn't even know that like there was like certain like optimal settings that I needed to change. This guy Dutta, dude, in every single lobby, he's like controller players. Like he likes to yap in the chat. Like it's crazy, dude. Man's just got to drive. It's all this game is, dude. Just drive. guy just likes to just use my bumper to brake, bro. It's so frustrating, bro. I'll do it. Just like that, dude. Yeah, use plates. This guy's about to get it, bro. I think he does this. Man. I tried to overtake him. He slammed into me, bro. I don't know if anyone saw that, dude. This guy slammed into my rear end and pushed me out of the way, bro. This guy Dutta, man. All this man does is yap, bro. Every lobby I've been in, dude. I feel like he's just like that guy that tries to get in people's heads by talking. You know, you're not fast. You're not that good. You play on controller. I've seen you drive. Like, dude, it's so funny. Yo, what's up, Eric? How you doing, bro? How's your day been, Eric? Yeah, man. We're just avoiding looking at what our DR looks like right now. We're just driving, man. I can't complain. I have to miss the Vibe League race today. I got called into work for 3 o'clock, so there's nobody else to go in into the house and look after the guys. So I'm gonna go in and I'll make a day out of it though. I think we're gonna do like s'mores today, and I'm gonna get them outside and like cook burgers and hot dogs and stuff, and it's gonna be fun. So, but I am a little bummed that I'm not gonna be able to race in that race today. Yeah, well, this is the thing about me is I don't forget. This could be 3 months from now, you know, and unless you change your gamer tag and the skin of your car, I'm not gonna forget, you know. So if I can get you back, I'm gonna get you back. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna ruin my race or anybody else's race in the process. But if I can give you a little bump and nudge to get past you like that, you know, I'm gonna do it. You know, not gonna ruin your race. He didn't ruin my race at all. You know, but he did a little bump and run. You know, so and to me, you know, that's not clean driving, bro. You know, there's rubbing on the sides perfectly fine. If you're gonna like shove me out of the way off my like way off my line just so you can pass me, that means you're not good enough to pass me. Period. Yeah, 100%. Maybe the next time what I'll do is I'll just lock my brakes up. You know, dude's behind me and I feel like he's gonna bump me to get past me. I'm just gonna slam on my brakes. Usually those guys who carry more speed into the corner, especially the hairpin on this track, bro, they don't slow down as much. They use your car to get the angle out of the hairpin. You know what I mean? So that it's not ruining your race. It's just pushing you out of the way. But it's not because you're faster. It's just because you're being aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And like to an extent, aggression's okay. I dig it, but like driving like that, like an angry teenager, bro, like your ego is bigger than your skill set, you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm having fun regardless, bro. You know, I'm chilling, dude. I'm not even worried, you know? Like if that's all that's going on is I have to deal with that, it could be much worse, you know what I mean? Like at least I'm not getting put out of the race, you know? My very first race in A on this track, I got put out of the race. I was like I started P3 very first turn. Nobody wanted to brake. Everyone just sent everyone into the corner. Like, yeah. Yeah. Well, most of the time, yeah. That's what it's supposed to be, dude. You know, it's like a vacation. You still get to drive, you know, except you don't have to worry about it. Now, occasionally you do get like new people in there that don't understand like there's nothing, you're not winning any money from this. There's nothing, there's no DR gaining, like there's nothing in those private lobbies like yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, it's like it's like Eric, you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't in a way. Like if you start in the front, that's awesome, but you have to make it out of those first couple of turns. Usually in these lobbies, you know, being up, like you have to make it that first lap, you know, and hope that, you know, nothing happens. And when you start in the back, you have to deal with everything. So it's like pick your poison. I don't want to start in the back in A lobbies personally. You know, I got to fight through everybody. I don't want to start middle of the pack. I want to start like top 4. That's it. Nothing underneath that because fifth is way too close to the shenanigans, you know? And it's usually people in 5th, 6th, 7th place who feel the need to have to bomb into a corner to gain places. You know, it's not, you know, P9, P10, Like those places, they're not doing that. You know what I mean? And even if they do, it's not necessarily going to affect you unless they absolutely send it. But by the time they get to the front of the pack, they're going to be ghosted. So like, fighting the good fight. Oh, what's going on, Dave? I didn't even see you pop in there. What's going on? How you feeling, man? I am feeling good, man. We looked at houses the last couple of days, so I've been away. I've been off stream and just kind of focusing on that, like moving and planning and all that fun stuff. And the free time that I have had, I've been just practicing my quality and doing a couple of races here and there. But I'm elated, man. You know, we're gonna be moving soon. It's kind of bittersweet because we've grown so much since we've been in this house, and we've been through a lot since we moved here. So, you know, it's closing a chapter in the book, but I'm excited to open a new one and, you know, and see what's in store. Most importantly, though, I'm excited to get my rig put together and get everything set up and where we're moving. This lady said that she really likes us and that she wants us to move in and rent the house for a half a year to a year, and then potentially we want to buy this place. So if we like the area and all that, after 6 months to a year, you know, we're probably going to transition into the buying aspect of everything. But dude, they have fiber internet. Like, I'm excited for that. That's probably like the biggest sell for me was like fiber internet. Like, dude, I'm going to be able to stream in higher quality. Like, I'm excited, dude. Dude, I don't understand. Like, nature can be brutal, bro. Like, rain makes everything worse. Like, I know when it rains, Photo's back and his leg, like, they get really, really bad. For me, dude, when it rains, my left knee hurts a lot because I had surgery when I was younger for my broken leg. And I dislocated my knee really bad. So whenever it rains, I don't know if it's like the pins or what, but dude, it sucks. But yeah, Eric, I hope you feel better soon, dude. Might just be one of those days, bro. Gotta lay up with the heating pad, put a good movie on or something, and just chill, dude. And is anybody tomorrow? Is anybody coming out for Moto's endurance race to support his mom having cancer? Is anybody coming out and racing with us? I know I'm gonna be there. I saw the signs. I opened up my eyes and saw the signs. No, I'm fine as long as my blend is right. I'm going with 80/20. Got you. There you go. Dude, finally, this guy Dutta is not in this lobby, bro. I don't know if any of you have ever raced with this guy named Dutta, but like he does not stop texting in the chat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as long as you're laughing and you have a little bit of an appetite, you're doing the right thing. But yeah, man, I thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. So far, so good. My first race in A was on this track, and I got spun out. I took 13th place, like literally just absolutely like horrible. And then ever since then, top five every time. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. You're racing tomorrow? Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do the whole thing. I don't work tomorrow, so I'm gonna try and do the entire endurance race, and then I'll probably be live from there on into the night. So I think he's starting it at 7 p.m. Eastern. So where's the radar? There we go. All right. Hopefully we can just get through this first corner or two without getting shoved. We need Reserva to stay in the back. Him and Axel, those are like two pretty, like, they're clean drivers, but they're dirty, if that makes sense. They know what to do to not get penalties. I don't know why in the race it feels way different. These guys are gonna cause an accident, bro. Dude, I can't. You see this guy? When they're that far behind, they always break late to catch up. Like, sometimes they hit you. Yo, what's up, Nugs? Welcome in, man. Kind of locked in right now, otherwise I would be in the chat more, but... And you gotta battle with these guys, so it takes time off your laps. so close behind me. It's not even funny. Like, it almost makes me scared to brake on time, if that makes sense. When they're that close, it just makes me scared to brake. And I don't want to mess their race up. I don't want to mess my race up. But right here, I got to get a little bit of a lead on this guy because no. Okay. I'll give you the inside. You can have it. I overtook him clean, so hopefully he doesn't ruin my race. Stop. Those GTRs on the straight line, dude, they're ridiculous to deal with. Yo, what up, Moto? How you doing, bro? I'm out here farming this DR, dude. But for some reason, man, I just can't seem to catch my pace today. These guys are gonna fight. Hopefully one of them spins out. Hey man, I was just I don't know if you saw my message. I hit you up about tomorrow, Moto. I want to be there. I want to be there. So just shoot me back a message with the details and all that stuff. And I know you said 6 p.m. Central, so that's like 7 p.m. my time, which is perfect. I don't work tomorrow, and wifey will be at work and busy, so I have all night. So you just let me know, man. Thanks, man. If I can tap into 157s, 156s, and not feel scared to like get slammed in the back, like that's my biggest thing right now is like in these lobbies racing with these drivers, like I'm just worried that I'm gonna do something that they're not expecting, you know, or they're gonna do something that I'm not expecting. Yeah, no doubt, dude. Yeah, no doubt, bro. Yeah, it's obviously, you know, I want people to show up and show support. You know, you deserve it, your family deserves it. You know, you definitely, you know, anything that I can do, literally anything, you know. I mean, there are certain things I won't do. I can't say those things on stream, but there's certain things I won't do. But you know, if you need anything, I'm here. I'm sure any of the guys also, same thing goes for them. Safe to say that I could speak for them in that regard. How Moto, how long is the race? You don't I mean, obviously I don't want you to give away all the details. It could be a surprise, but that way I could kind of plan out my night tomorrow and the stream and everything. And do you want us to pull up in like a cancer awareness livery? I'll make that happen. I could do that. Maybe we can find them on like the it's too short notice to have OzzyPug do all of that, but we might be able to find them in the livery editor. Long race? How long? 400 miles. Okay. It should take roughly 4 hours. I'll be there for the whole thing. Yeah, I'll be there for the whole thing, bro. The whole thing. Only I was expecting you to say something crazy, but 4 hours, 400 miles, I'll be there. I will be there for the entire thing. You can count me. Unless my internet goes out, I'll be there for the whole thing. We can probably maybe, if you're cool with it, we can all, like anyone who's participating in the race, if we're gonna stream it, um, we can like theme our stream around it, you know, and then that way, it's like a branded thing. Since it's gonna be 4 hours, people will know what they're getting into, you know, and then also like whatever we can draw in terms of support, um, I know anything helps. People just hanging out in the chat is gonna be, an immense amount of support. So if you could show up in a livery, that would be sick. Ozzy made me one. All right, yeah, I'll be there. I don't want to. It's probably too short notice for me to have him whip me one up, and I feel like you should be the only one with a custom livery. It's your event. It's your family. It's for you and your mom. So I will. Actually, what group are you doing? Is it group three? I should. It's probably group three. I don't think you're gonna do formula. Yeah, it's gonna be a movie, man. I'm excited, dude. I want everybody to pop out and give some support to Moto. He needs it right now. His family needs it right now. So if anybody wants to race with us tomorrow, just feel free to shoot me a message, add me on PSN, join the Discord. Discord link is in the description to the live video. So if you guys just click and go in there and join, you'll get all the details about tomorrow's race and what it's for. I'm gonna go out on a limb and just assume that it's group three. Because it's at the Nürburgring, so I don't know what this one says. I hate that I can't see it before I. Yeah, no. Oh, there it is. There's your livery. First thing to pop up. You drive that far for your medicine, Eric? That's crazy, bro. There we go. How's that look? I like that. I'm with that. This looks good to me. I'll throw it on right now. Why not? There we go, Moto. And then later on, like when I get home from work in the morning, I'll go in the editor, I'll make a thumbnail and everything for it, you know. Change up my bio. If there's any links that you want me to put in my live description for tomorrow, let me know. You know what I mean? If you're trying to raise money, let me know. I'll even do maybe I'll do like my driver too. Maybe I'll if I could find one. I regret deleting the pic I shared with you. Isn't that the worst feeling, Dave? Like when you want to go back and find something and you're like, I know I sent it, and then you deleted it for whatever reason and you're trying to find it and you just can't, and you're like, dude, it's frustrating. That actually happened to me the other day. I was looking for a picture that I took, or a couple of pictures that I took when I used to be a chef. I had like some crazy funny pictures of like me up in the walk-in, like we were deep cleaning it, so we had everything pulled out, and I was literally like on top of the shelf, spread eagled across each shelf like a starfish, like upside down, trying to clean the ceiling. Like, dude, it was funny. I was looking for it and I was super bummed. And then I had a picture that with my kitchen manager, my head chef. That sounds a lot worse than it actually is. Um, it was like Halloween and it was dress up and they put me on the grill that night. It was torture. It was so hot and it was miserable. It was busy. But I dressed up like SpongeBob SquarePants because I was on the grill. I had like the Batman utility pouch with like the ketchup bottle and everything, and it was so funny, bro. I wish I could find those pictures because those are good times, but I just for some reason I don't know where they went, what happened to them. Setting up 65 plus strains is time consuming. Oh man, it's good to share with the minded people. I really enjoy that moment. Real talk. We're definitely going to be taking pit stop blending breaks. Okay, okay. I was gonna say 4 hours. 4 hours is crazy, and you're doing the full length Nurburgring, right, Moto? I don't think you're gonna sell it short. I think you're gonna do the full track, but pit stops are gonna be are you doing like just pit stops for brakes, like, or are you gonna have like tire wear and all that on too? What we should do is like I don't know if you're down for it, but have like the time change and maybe a little bit of weather, make it like excruciating, make it like hard to deal with and uncomfortable, you know. I don't know if that's your plan or not, but oh, we're in here with sweet baby Jesus. In here with sweet baby Jesus. Bro, let me tell you, I know that I'm probably not going to finish in P1, but man, does it feel good to be in a lobby with all these guys and being in P1 to start the race. It feels very, very, very good. This will be the race that I get dinked up and dented and thrown around like a redheaded stepchild. This is going to be fun. He said I can go to my garden. It's in the woods. Full tire wear, fuel depletion, 24-hour time cycle. It's a race. It's just for a good cause, but competitive. Okay. Yep, I get that. I like the idea of having full weather tire, all that, because it's more stressful. That's a good idea. I'm there for the vibes. I am awful at the Nürburgring, so I'm gonna go into it, no practice. I'm just gonna be uncomfortable. I might be a little bit miserable the whole time, but I'm down to do it. I'm gonna have a good time because it's supporting a good cause, bro. So. All right, here we go. Off to a bad start already, boys. Okay. That's how we want to play this, bro. I got front end damage and I'm still keeping up. Dude, these guys are ridiculous, bro. Lost all that time for what, bro? These guys are going to take each other out, bro. I'm not concerned. I just got to be safe about it. This axle guy is as dirty as they get, so just take it, bro. Just take it. Final lap, everyone's gonna be desperate to make a move. This guy's gonna bomb. Oh, he got a penalty. Nice. Nice. Good take that. I'll take that. I'll take fourth. It's a legend in Nürburgring. I'm going to be in the M6. All right, bet. Bet. So I picked the right car, the right livery. Cool. Yeah, he's a wild boy. Yeah, listen, man, I try my hardest to not put these guys into the grass. You know, like sometimes I want them to try out Lawnmower Simulator, you know, but if I do it to them in this race, then they'll do it to me in the next one. So there's really no point. Like, you want to be A+ and fight for first? By all means, bro. On a Sunday at 12 o'clock in the afternoon? By all means. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. The word moral is in his name. Yeah, exactly. Nah, see, that wasn't too bad, but, like, he's one of those people that will brake late, dive bomb into, like, a corner, and then, like, push you out of the way and take your line. That's pretty much... He won't wreck me out, right? Like, he's not gonna blatantly, you know, hit me or blatantly dive bomb me. But that style of driving I still consider to be dirty. Like, you're not faster, you're just driving like an asshat, and I have to deal with it, so, like, I'm gonna be more reserved. I was just praying to P1. Oh, man. Now, one of these races I will. I think what it is, too, is, like, just the pressure. See, he left right away. The pressure of it is it, for me, it's always braking too soon for the person behind me and them not knowing, like, my line or them not knowing what I'm trying to do, you know, and getting hit, you know. So I slow myself down or I brake late, I fall off my line. What I need to do is just race my race. But now that we're getting up into A, it's tough. It's all good, though, man. I'm having fun. Some of these names have you really thinking, sweet baby Jesus, I better let him pass. Yeah, 100%, you know? And the way I put it, like, last lap, right, you know, even, like, you know, second lap, third lap of a 4-lap race, like, if all I'm losing is one position and I have to give it to him and I could fight back later on in the race, that's what I'm going to do, right? I'd rather that than try and fight him and have him pit me or, you know, me pit him in one of our races, just be completely ruined, you know? But a lot of the times I fall behind off pace because I'm making mistakes, especially if I'm starting P1. It's my fault that I'm not running 156s, you know, because I can run mid 156s consistently in time trial, but not in the race, and that's where it matters. Yeah, he'll always be number one. I'll let him come in first every time. That's probably why he's A plus, right? Like everyone just lets him win, you know. Hope for some good karma, you know. That mindset and skill will lead to A plus. I appreciate that a lot, Dave. I do. I really do. I try to race just a clean race, you know. Now, I can't help if someone wants to go out of their way to do something dirty, but I try to keep myself in a position where I'm not putting myself in that position and I'm not putting someone else in that position, you know. Now it's funny, there have been times, bro, where like people go to make a dirty move on me, like just before Stefan saw going into the last corner, same way I just overtook that guy, there was a different guy and he tried to pit me. But before he pit me, I saw him come in on the radar, so I literally just turned my wheel to the left and slid across the finish line and he lost the place. So like sometimes it's frustrating to deal with that type of stuff, but it's just pixels on a screen. I gotta remind myself every once in a while. He was the only, yeah, I feel, yeah, 100%. Because if he goes down, you know what I mean? If he drops down to P2 even, he's losing DR probably. So, poor little Boo has a fragile ego. Yeah, you can't. Fragile ego is a killer in life, man. You start looking at everything like, I'm better than that. Why is that better than me when I'm better than that? You know what I mean? Like you can't have a fragile ego in this world. Unfortunately, you know, seems to be the case nowadays, but I'll keep it away from that, you know. I like to just, bro, I like to just, whatever I'm doing, I like to do it to the best of my ability and be aware of, you know, if people are behind me, I can help them. And if people are ahead of me, I can learn from them. Whether they're getting ahead of me, you know, in a scumbag-ish kind of way, you know, I can still look at what they're doing and go, okay, like if I wanted to, I could do that. Or this is where they're better than me on the track to gain speed to be close enough to do that to me, you know. And then anybody that's running behind me, they could do the same thing with me, you know. He said, Dave, that's me you're talking to. Listen, Reborn, as a man, right? As a man, I think every single one of us has a little bit of an ego, right? I think that the testosterone kind of just keeps us at that point, right? We all have something that we want to prove, whether it's to ourselves or to our family or, you know, any loved one or friend. You know, there's always that thing we want to prove. You know, I'll give you an example, bro. When I first started, I was coming in last in every race with these guys, and that was the birth of I am not gonna let this continue to be a thing. You know what I mean? So, but every once in a while, I lose my temper. You know, you'll catch me in the stream sometimes. F this, F that, stomp my feet. You know, be all upset about somebody that did something or mad at myself for whatever reason. But it ain't worth it to like let it get the best of you. You know, that's when it starts to become a problem. Where like don't let yourself get out of character because of it. You know, don't treat people differently. Don't throw insults around. You know, don't personalize the emotion. But we've all been there, bro. You know, I've been there more times than once, more times than I'd like to admit. But yeah, exactly. You know, tit for tat. We're gonna have a pissing contest. You know, who's gonna sling theirs around the most? You know, that's just natural, bro. Like, but it's healthy too until it's not. Like it's for me, like I love to look at people. Like you could ask Moto, bro. Moto was one of the first people that I was like looking at his times and just licking my lips. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, some of these tracks I'm gonna catch you, boy. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be right behind you. I'm gonna set a better quality time than you. You know, but he's still faster than me on 75, 80% of the tracks. You know what I mean? So like, but it's that healthy competition that breeds growth and success, and also like enjoying it, like watching you get closer and closer and closer and closer to your goal. Like as a 46-year-old, it's time to grow up. Yeah, man, but I don't believe you're 46. I think you're just lying. You know, I think you're trying to capitalize on that. If people understand that confidence is better than having an ego, the world would be a better place. I love my shield of confidence. Yeah, yeah. I'm not. Listen, I'm confident to a degree where I come off as arrogant, but I am the least arrogant person that you'll ever meet. Like, I'll admit, yeah, you're better than me, but you're not gonna be. You know what I mean? Like that's confidence. That's not arrogance. Arrogance is me getting in a lobby with world finalists and me finishing ninth and going, I'm still better than all of you. You all suck. You know what I mean? Like that's arrogant. That's ignorance too. You know what I mean? But like, but yeah, like you gotta like not, you gotta be aware of it. You know, I like to crack jokes about myself, but I'm the first person to stand up for myself. If that makes any sense. He said, "Trust me, I am 46. Only reason I'm fast is by racing against other fast people and trying to beat them. Competition is healthy. Breeds success. Yeah, 100%, bro. And breeds. Yeah. Mama's not here. My late mother's account. I'm sorry to hear that, and thank you, man. I am blessed to have that subscriber. That's awesome, dude. Thank you very, very, very much for that. That is awesome, dude. I try, I try my best, like to not let the competition get the best of me. You know what I mean? Like I try not to let it consume the reason why I play the game. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like I'm even in the dailies, or even in the private lobbies. Like I pride myself on where I finish, and if I finish in a place where I'm happy that I finished there, I'm still trying to figure out how I can get up another place. Like I feel like that's what makes this world amazing. You know what I mean? Is your ability to push each other. You know, so. And I do that with literally everything. Like competitive nature, like is me. I embody that. You know, it's in my bloodstream. Like it's just who I am. Everything I do, it could be an onion cutting contest, and I'm gonna be like, how can I angle this knife to cut this knife or to cut this onion faster? You know what I mean? All right, we got to be careful in this one, boys. But yeah, Dave, I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me, dude. That means a lot. Thank you very much for that. All right, I gotta race my race here, guys. I want to push this and see what happens. You know, I'm gonna try and race, try my best to race like no one's behind me, like it's just me in the lobby, and see what I can do. Take all that pressure and just let it dissipate. Thank you, Nugs. Yeah, right? Yeah. RSR as a whole is a great community regardless. And the way I look at it is like everybody has something that they can pride themselves on. Not everybody has the time to give to the game to be fast. Not everybody's naturally talented, but I'll tell you what, I still enjoy driving with everybody. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You know, sometimes I get frustrated. You know, I get frustrated when the D level drivers are starting P1, you know, but I gotta not let that get to me. I gotta figure out how to get by them and how to deal with all the traffic, and that's just something that the frustration is gonna push me to do, you know. But this team, this group of people, man, as a whole, absolutely A plus. If we could go higher than A plus, you know, I'd like to, maybe an immaculate level, you know. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. It's a pleasure and a blessing to have her as a thug, man. I got Mama's seal of approval. Dude, I hate custom slipstream, bro. behind there. I know I am. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. Alright. Let's just make it so it doesn't matter. Alright, let's get P1. P1, fastest lap, clean race. You gotta be kidding me. I never get that penalty in time trial. So. I'll take P1 though. Why not? Yeah, once you're in the back, yeah, 100%. 100%, yeah. I was worried because it tacked on that extra second. And for some reason, like, I feel like the car drives different in the race than it does in the time trial, and it just gets to me. I don't know why. July is not a good month for me. I lost my mom in '99 on the 24th. Doing the race tomorrow. Hopefully, will bring some joy. There you go, man. I'm sorry to hear that, Eric, man. I was talking to Zilla the other day about it, and it's one of those things that I dread because, like, my mom's health has never been the greatest my whole life. So, and like, the older I get, you know, the more aware of, or the more I am aware that time is just time, you know. Thank you, Eric. You know, I appreciate that, Eric. I have a really, 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 really good quality time here, so it does help me a little bit that I lag a little bit in the race, that I fall a little bit behind my pace, but I need to get to a place where I'm able to race at the pace that I can race at, you know, when there's no pressure. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Speaking of quality time, I want to see where I fell to. 5:24. That's not bad. I mean, for what, a full 24 hours, it's been since I got top 500. It's only gone up 24 places, so my team does need a quarterback. Don't get me started. They're like Anthony Richardson. His shoulder's gonna be good for the first 2 games, and then he's gonna get hurt again, and he's gonna sit on the bench. And then you know who's coming in behind him? Even better, Daniel Jones. Let's see what Daniel Jones can do on the Colts because the Colts have a much better team around him than the Giants did. Like I did. Oh, I try not to get too like into the football season. I am a sports bettor at heart. I love to watch because I like to bet on the games, but outside of that, like I'm a quiet Colts fan. You know, I'm a very quiet Colts fan. You're gonna be bald? Are you gonna do it on stream, dude? That's honest. That's a good idea, bro. You should do it on stream, bro. Look, I would say, oh, I'd do it too, but not with this noggin. Let me tell you, bro. I'd look like that alien from American Dad. I can't. Nope. I need the beard. I need the hair. I need it. Without it, I don't know what I'm gonna do when I start to lose my hair, bro. I got a dome. If you can't tell on the stream, my head is almost as wide, or if not, my ears might make my head wider than my shoulders. I got a big ass head, bro. Let me tell you, bro. Dude, I was that kid in like high school, middle school when I played football. Like my shoulder pads were so much bigger than my shoulders, but they didn't have a helmet that fit me properly. It sucked, bro. I have a giant head. My mom's hair fell out, so mine's coming off. Okay, I get that, bro. I dig that. I support that. That's awesome, bro. The car drives differently in the race because of the weight of the fuel. The car is heavier, so you have to brake earlier than in the race than in qualifying. In quali, the car is lighter. I hate that. I do not like that. I don't like that. It just throws off my whole vibe. And if I'm supposed to brake earlier, then why are the people behind me hitting me in the back? You know what I mean? See, I feel like these 4 lap races, like they should be sprint races. There shouldn't be tire deterioration. There shouldn't be like fuel or anything like that. Like it should literally just be the way it is in the time trial. Now, race C or whatever race is the longer race, I totally dig that, you know. They have the fun race in race A, they have the semi-serious but not too serious race B, and then they have race C, which is like the 15 lapper with, you know, hards required and softs required or something, you know. Triple T is gonna be so upset that I got on here, and he's been asking me the last couple of days when am I going live, and here I am. But he might be asleep or something. We all should do it. I have no problem with that. Hair shaving Monday. Let's go. Listen, Eric. I think we all is a stretch. I don't get me wrong. I'm gonna support in any way humanly possible, but I still have to like, you know, be consciously aware that my head is huge. And I've also never been bald, so I don't really know how I look. I'd shave like my eyebrows off maybe, but that's still a lot. You know what I mean? That's a lot. Like as long as I don't have knots in my head, bro. I have three. What are you talking about, Eric? I have one. So I have one in the back of my head. I have one over here, and they make my hair grow weird. But yeah, I have a giant knot, and I think what it is like when I was really young, I used to wear baseball caps like really, really tight, and it's literally shaped like that horse shape in the back of a snapback. It's literally the exact like when I put a hat on, it fits it perfectly, lock and key. I don't need to bick my head. Clippers would be fine. Okay. All right. I don't own a pair of clippers, but what I will do, I'll go and get my hair cut. I will go and get my hair cut Tuesday morning when they open up. Or maybe I'll get my hair cut before the stream tomorrow. Why not? A one or two on top? Okay. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do a two on the top. That sounds fair to me. I'll do it. As long as I don't as long as I don't gotta like smooth shave my head, bro. You know what I mean? Like I think my girl would leave me, bro. I think she would. She might accidentally put me in her bowling ball bag. You know what I mean? Just 0. I came for the racing. I stayed for the cranial content. That's a alliteration right there, Dave. Yeah, bro. So my fiance is going to be away for about a week for school and for work. She has to go do like clinical rounds at this hospital out of state. So she's gonna be there for 4 or 5 days, and I have off tomorrow. So, and I get off work tonight at 11 o'clock. So the second she leaves tomorrow, fair game. I could be on. I could be up as late as I want. I could order takeout. I could do whatever I want to do. I could be a bachelor for a little while. So the only thing I can't do is dirty her house and leave it dirty for when she gets back home. She verbatim, she said, if there is anything, any mess that is here when I get home that was not here when I leave, I am going to beat your ass. That's exactly what she said to me. So we got to keep the missus happy. So you're keeping the beard. You're not gonna go baby face. No, I dig it. No, I dig it. Keep the beard. Keep it, because without my beard, bro, I'd be like an Idaho 3 without my beard. You know what I'm saying? Like I would turn heads in public, but for all the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like the beard and the tattoos is what helps. But if I get rid of my beard, I could go without the tattoos. But without the beard, nah, nope, can't do it. Nope, I'd have to stay in the house on lockdown until my beard came back. You know what I mean? Like my beard is my dignity. It's my manhood. Like I'm actually scared to see the tan line underneath my beard. I feel like I haven't shaved my beard. I've trimmed it, but I haven't shaved it in so long that I feel like underneath my beard, I just have this really like printer paper white chin strap that just goes from my ear all the way down underneath my chin. Like I wouldn't survive, bro. I wouldn't. I dig it. I dig it. I respect it. I won't shave all my hair off, but I will cut my hair to an uncomfortable length if that's an acceptable thing. I'll cut my hair shorter than I've ever cut it before because I've never cut my hair shorter than a 3. So that's there was a point in time where I looked like Justin Bieber. Did I just go into the quali and miss the race? No, I missed the race. Wait for me. Wait for me. No, come back. No, no. Oh, now I gotta wait 20 minutes to race again. Gee willikers, Batman. He said, with my beard, I'm a Texas 8. Without it, I'm a North Dakota 2. Yeah, 1,000%. Once you can see how like the full proportion of my face, nah. I wouldn't even be able to look myself in the eyes in the mirror. Like I would just be ashamed of myself. If I cut my hair, I'll dip below 140. Oh no. Yeah, listen, man. If I cut my hair when I go outside, the whole neighborhood's gonna come outside their house and be like, "Yo, what is that?" I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be taken to like a facility and they're gonna do research on me because I would look just like an alien, except I'd have two eyes and not one. You know. Honestly, honestly, you should leave the stash, bro. Just shave your head, keep the beard, keep the stash. You know. And then just every time you interact with somebody, you could just tip your hat forward and go, license or registration. Hmm. You know why I pulled you over, sir? You'd have that state trooper look in no time. All you need is one of those like suede bucket hats, and you're good to go. Put the strap under your nose like those guys do, and just have a ball, bro. I can make these jokes, all right, because my grandfather and my uncle were both state troopers, so I can make these jokes. I support the police. I love state troopers, except when they pull me over and give me a ticket for going 80 and a 75. Other than that, they're good people. Yeah, yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, 100%. My neighbors will be outside my front door with a pitchfork, a lantern, and like one of those like hay torches. Like, hey ho, he's gotta go, hey ho. No, I had that problem when I was younger. I looked really young until I got in my 30s. Yeah, dude, I literally like if I don't tell people my age, it's a problem. Like people get my age wrong all the time. I still get carded everywhere I go. If I were to shave my beard and put a long sleeve shirt on, they probably would let I would be able to walk into a high school and attend a class. You know what I mean? Like they would be totally fine with that. They wouldn't even question it. First day of school, just go walk into a class, sit down, they do roll call. All I got to do is wait for no one else to raise their hand and raise my hand for their name. And they wouldn't even look at me twice. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, the light bill would drop. Yeah, the all I have to do is open the window and let the moon bounce off my head, and it would be perfect, bro. I light up the whole house. You know what I mean? I feel like what I would do, I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like I'd shave my head for the stream, and then I'd go like right to like the salon and buy a wig. You know what I mean? I want to do like I've been thinking about doing themed streams like 80s themed or 60s themed or like gangster themed or like rap themed or just something, like rock and roll and just dress up like that. You know how funny it would be to come on here dressed up like a member of Kiss and just stream. Like I just feel like that'd be fun. He said if I walked into high school, they'd think I was the janitor. Like, yeah, sir, the closet's over there. If you need an extra mop heads, just let me know. I'll give you the key to the supply closet. Like, yeah, no, I'd be able to try out for the football team, dude. Like I could walk onto the field without any helmet on or anything, and they'd be like, "All right, you're a little bit small for high school football, bud. You sure you want to do this?" There's no weight limit, right? I'd be like, "Yeah, heard that one before." Oh, dude. No, 100%. You could probably honestly just put me in a stroller and put a blanket over me. I'll sit like crisscross applesauce. You just put a blanket over me and put like one of those baby hats on, and I'll just start like and bro, they like, dude, they use my car seat still. Like I need a car seat. I used to, funny story actually, when I lived with my grandparents for a little while, they had a Lincoln, like an old school Lincoln, a boat, bro, and the seats, the hydraulics were broken on it, and I needed to use what are they like the phone books, those big phone books, in order to be tall enough to drive this car to see over the steering wheel. And I was like 20 years old, dude. Like, you know how like humiliating that is to get out of the car in a parking lot full of people and they could just see books on the seat. Like, dude, I'm telling you. Yeah, 100%. You know, that's why it is that though. Everybody, yo, kid, what's up? I'm like, bro, I'm a grown ass man. You know what I mean? Like, but I'll enjoy it until I can't enjoy it anymore. You know, Moto, people hand me $1 and a scurry. Oh my man. Say, hey, little buddy, you want a free, you want a free keychain? Like, I'll walk up and they'll be like, yeah, kids get in for free. Like, oh man. Speaking of that, we all got to get together and talk about the Sim Expo because I'm more than down to go, but I'm coming from like the middle of nowhere, like Timbuktu. I'll be coming from like where the wind blows from. You know what I mean? So I need to figure out the situation like ASAP. Yeah, bro. When I go to amusement parks, they still hold the stick up to me. Listen, it's not a good experience. I'm 5'6.5", 5'6.5". But yeah, no, it's rough, dude. You know. But at least, like, bro, when I was a freshman, even when I was a sophomore in high school, bro, I weighed 80 pounds my sophomore year. And I started wrestling the very beginning of sophomore year. I started, like, training and practicing with the team and all that stuff. And I was 80 pounds wrestling dudes that were, like, 106. And within that first year and a half, I put on, like, 15, 20 pounds. And then I was wrestling. Coach moved me up to 125 pounds. I don't know if he didn't like me. You know what I mean? But it wasn't fun. I'll tell you that much. I didn't have a good time. You know what I mean? Well, I was decent with wrestling. I was better at wrestling than I was at football, but I didn't enjoy it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get the tall, skinny ones, and then sometimes you get the guys that are built like my big toe, and it's just like I don't. It. What do I do? Like me and OP are going a road trip up there. I know, I know. I think I was joking with you about driving over there and like spending a night in Texas and carpooling up, but that wouldn't make much sense. Then I'd have to drive all the way back to get on the plane to fly all the way back to PA. Enjoy. I got mad when I started getting called OG. Yeah, I can feel it. Like I can feel it. They're gonna start calling me Unk. You know what I mean? Sometime in my near future, I'm gonna be Unk. You know, I should be. According to the younger generation, I qualify for Unk status, but I don't look like I do. So that's got me far. Damn, I'm 6'1" and some change. Yeah, yeah. See, like when I was in high school, bro, like I didn't hit my growth spurt until junior year. You know what I mean? Like I hit puberty freshman year, TMI. I went through all that. I just didn't get any taller until junior year. I went from like 5'1" to 5'6" in a year. You know what I mean? Changed everything for me. You know what I mean? I was in really good shape. I put on a lot of muscle from like strength and conditioning training and wrestling and just working out all the time was my thing because I was so small. I wanted to be ripped and in shape because I was a tiny kid. What else do I have going for me? You know what I mean? So then when I grew, I started turning heads. Like, I had multiple women trying to talk to me. They were getting jealous. Now I settled down. I got my beer belly going on, a little bit. It's not too bad, but it's getting there. I'm working on it, you know. But yeah, dude, that's one thing I need to do is get back into the gym. But like, I have this hyper fixation for anything that I do. So like, if I go to the gym, it's gonna become my life. I sit down and I play this game, it's gonna become my life. Like I have to be in a certain spot for me to feel okay about what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm 6 foot, but I have to run around in the shower to get wet. Oh my Atlanta. 5'7"? All right. Yeah, me and Eric are about the same height. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I'll take it. Yeah, well, see, the thing about it is, Moto, I don't have to worry about ducking under doorways or feeling crammed in my car. You know what I mean? And they could also, if you grab my ankles, if I lay flat on the floor, you could swing me under your couch to get all the debris out. It's cool, dude. Like, I'm the king of dodgeball. Let me tell you. Have fun hitting me. All I gotta do is turn sideways. It's like hitting a piece of paper. You know what I mean? Like hold the piece of paper sideways and throw something at it and try and hit the very side of it. It ain't happening, you know? Don't get me wrong though, you know, like for being short, like I've always had this weird attribute, and my uncles always used to tell me that it was like special strength, but I've always been like abnormally like strong, even without being like in the gym regularly. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like farmer strength or if it's just like something that's genuinely like a part of my genetics, you know, or if it's just lingering from when I used to train all the time, but like I've always been relatively strong for my size, which was honestly why like the coach recruited me to the wrestling team because I was 80 pounds, but I was benching like 145. So it was like, now don't get me wrong, not like, you know, I wasn't doing it 10 reps. I was doing like 3 or 4 reps of it, but like I've always been like capable of using strength, you know? It's like an attribute, I guess. Like if they put me in a game right now, like a fighting game, that'd be the only attribute that I would have. Like defense would be like 60, strength would be like 90. Everything else, all that would be like 60s, 50s. Like if they put me into Madden, bro, like speed 40, strength 95, blocking ability 20. Like the left one is a ringer. This guy, man. This man said the left one is a ringer. Oh man, 7 minutes. Where's the time gone? I got about an hour left of the stream. Unfortunately for me, I got called in to work because responsibilities. So I am going to miss the Vibe League race today, but Exode's going to hold it down. Exode's going to pull out a really good finish today. And then I'll be back next week and every Sunday from there on. I don't have much time left at work, so I'm going to try and enjoy the time that I have left with the guys. Spend a little bit of time with them, and also kind of have to break the news that I'm not, you know, I'm leaving, you know, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to visit that often, so it's going to be tough, bro. To be honest with you, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm really like dreading that. You know, I've spent a little bit of time here, and I've grown a really big bond with these guys to the point where like I look forward to going to work to see them. You know what I mean? So, man, it's going to suck to have to leave. It's going to be like I'm going to be in mourning for a little while, you know. I'm going to be like a little blue and a little bit down about it, but hopefully they take it well and they understand, you know. And I'll try and visit every once in a while whenever we can come back down. But I'm planning to have like a barbecue. They just got a new grill, a nice Blackstone flat top, so I'm going to do like burgers and sausages and hot dogs, and we're going to eat outside. And then neither of them have ever had s'mores before, so I'm going to change their life. They're going to have s'mores for the first time ever today, so excited about that. All right. I'm going to jump in and warm up here. Just a teensy weeny. Don't do that again. We need to enter the race, not the qualifier. I say most of you guys are probably at work right now, maybe lunch break. It is 1 o'clock in the after. It is 12 o'clock for you guys over in Central Time. So slow motion for me, slow motion for me, slow motion for me. Dude, I met these really quick before I jump in. I met these sisters, Lovely Bella and Lovely Rihanna. I hope I didn't say that name wrong, but they're sisters, and boy are they fast, bro. Like they're both a part of Distinct. They're both in Distinct. Yo, they're quick, dude. Like so fast. Like, dude, it was kind of funny, dude. This one guy was like talking trash to them in the lobby, and they're like, "All right, like you know, we're gonna drop back and race with you. Like, we'll let you fight." And they dropped back, and within 1 lap, they were already like 3 seconds ahead of everybody, dude. It was ridiculous. Like, it was insane. They're so quick. I find it to be really cool that they're sisters. Like they're both related and they're both good at the game. when you planning on moving? Hopefully Indiana, so we can go crazy with some content creating. Enjoy your day, all. Thanks for the racing and the laughs. No doubt, Dave. Yeah, thank you, man, for stopping in, and I appreciate you for subbing with Mama's Not Here's account. That means a lot to me, man. I hope you have a really good rest of your day, and maybe I'll see you later tonight if I do decide to stream when I get home. Maybe you'll still be awake, but if not, maybe tomorrow. Have a good day, Dave. Yeah, Eric. I've been talking to the missus about it. You know, we've been kind of contemplating. We are moving to um a different town to start. She's gonna work on, her career and get her. We're gonna start saving a little bit more. We probably do have enough to, buy a house, but we're not in the place right now where we're ready to make that commitment. We want to, travel a little bit more, see a little bit more of the country, and get an idea of, where we want to go. We already have it in our minds that, we want to kind of stay closer to the beach. So Indiana is a little bit farther away, but there are things out there that do also benefit us. So it's more or less just kind of prioritizing like what's most important to us. And for me, bro, a nice house, good price, good internet, and a big enough office that I could just have fun with, and a good job, and that's it. You know what I mean? That's all I care about. But she wants the beach, and I can't sit here and say that I hate that idea. I love the beach. So, but Florida's too far. Georgia's too far, and not her cup of tea. The Carolinas we talked about, Maryland, Delaware. I don't want winter. That's me. Like that's my biggest gripe. If I had to pick one thing, take winter out of the equation. There's a beach in Michigan City. Oh, dude, I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna look that up and send it to her and be like, listen, there's a beach in Michigan City, and I want to go more central too. Like my argument is like we can explore more west easily. We can go see those states and do those things and try new things, and we'll be equal distance from certain things over there as we are to stuff on the East Coast, right in the middle. Flying would be awesome. you know go anywhere, it's like the same distance. Man, oh man, am I glad that I decided to practice. Let's see, do I get a penalty here like I did in the race? No. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I never knew that there was a beach up there in Michigan City. I've never really explored too much up that direction, so. Oh man, here we go. All A's, man. All A drivers. And they're all in the 50. Oh, there's one B, but they're all in the 56s, 57s. So, I hope that these guys, I've raced with a lot of these guys, so hopefully they're aware that, they don't have to play rough with me if they're close enough to me and they want to pass me and I feel like I'm going to save myself torture by letting them, I'll let them by. You know. I try my best not to, but I'm not going to, my race or somebody else's by fighting that hard, especially early on. And I don't want to finish P13. If I can keep finishing top 5 every time, I'll take it, because I'm starting to get to that point now where, I need to finish top 8 at least. At first it was like I could get away with P9, because there was, or I couldn't get away with P9. I think now I probably could, but because there's so many A's, but like, I don't want to lose. I don't want to go down. I just want to continue to go up. I had to lift. He's going to catch me. I hate custom slip. Like, I really do. It's so annoying. There we go. Man, I'm like a fourth place magnet, bro. Literally fourth place magnet. Yeah, that receding red line guy, I don't like it. Not one bit. He hit me and slowed me down completely. I think I'm the only sprint model in here. I'm the only sprint model in this race. So they must know something about the GTR that I don't know. I got time for a couple more, I think. Maybe one or two more. And then at the end, when I'm done, I think I'll do two more races, and then at the end I'll do my DR reveal. I haven't checked it since I started this morning, so hopefully we've gone up quite a bit. Don't nobody spoil it for me. Don't spoil it. I want it to be a surprise. But I think that even like fourth place, I don't think you get a lot of DR for that, do you? I just now realized I also didn't change my brake balance for that race, I don't think. Gotta figure out. There's got to be an angle, like a better braking technique for me to use. Not technique, but strategy in that corner to come out with a little bit more speed. What if I slam on the brakes here, turn in, just jump? Nah, it's faster to brake earlier there. Too much gas. Too much gas. I didn't let off the gas at all going into that corner, so I messed that all up. Much better there, much better. Stop and get that part down. Gas is pretty good. Alright, so now we hang out until the last minute of the qualifying time. Oh man. Take a break. I'm gonna take these gloves off for a second. I gotta let them breathe. Breathe. To it. That's such a good song, man. I love that song. I should probably do an oil change too at this point. I think I have a decent amount of miles on the car today. Man, you can't breathe when I come through, hung to. Gotta be 20 men. It's not even funny. They can't breathe. Oh. Actually, I'm gonna go pay the water bill really quick. I'll be right back. Alright. Gotta minute till the race. It's mainly just that first section that I need to practice on. Those first, like that first S turn. So I should have enough time to get there. Too much speed, but that'll be fine. All right. Alrighty. Oh, here we go. Slowly's on. Very nice. He starts in front of me because he has a 55.3. What's great about this is having him in front of me in this race, I can use him to pace myself. So, oh, I couldn't get the message off. I wanted to say good luck, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles in a half shell. Turtle power. Alright. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Hopefully Captain will be a nice, good pace car. He runs really fast laps here, so if I fall behind, it's me. It's not the people I'm racing with. he got away a little bit. He's gonna have to pass lap. That's a penalty, unfortunately for me. All he's got to do is stay close enough. He's got me. Good race, good race. Man, that penalty killed me there, but you know what? I'll take it. Hey, Triple T, the stream is live. What's going on, bro? The stream is finally here, man. Thank you for popping in. I know you've been asking. I brought you up earlier. I said Triple T is going to miss it. I do not want to be the bearer of bad news, but I probably only have one race, if that, left before I am going to shut the stream down. I've been live since 10:30-ish a.m. I work today, so unfortunately I have to miss the Vibe League race. Exode's going to be out there on the track at Sardinia by himself at 3 o'clock. But there will be other people streaming. I know Noodle will be on streaming if you want to check his room out. And then I get home tonight at 11 p.m. So I may or may not be streaming tonight. However, tomorrow I am planning on doing a 24-hour stream. So somewhere around 1 p.m. ish, around there, I'll be live and racing. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have motos. F Cancer 400 at the Nürburgring. We're gonna race to show support for his mom, who unfortunately has been diagnosed with cancer, and is currently undergoing treatment. So us as a group, we're gonna come out and do that race in honor of her, and to showcase and support her, and her battle that lays ahead of her. So we have that tomorrow, and we also have new dailies tomorrow. So we're trying to pump out these. Please don't leave the dryer on if you leave. Okay. And we have the new dailies that are coming out tomorrow morning. So I'm not exactly sure what those are going to be. If I'm going to be doing the dailies next week, we will find that out when the new ones come out. However, I've been absolutely farming Missouri, so we are enjoying it too. I think P5, aside from our first race at Missouri, where we got spun out, unfortunately, I've P5'd or better every race that I've done since then. So, kid, your mic cut out. Can you hear me? Well, what's up, DJ? You're trying to get fast? Hey, bro, I'll help you. You know, we could run lobbies. I'll teach you. DJ, can you hear me? DJ, if you haven't added me on PlayStation, bro, feel free, dude. I am not. This is not an exclusivity thing. It ain't working no more. Can anybody else hear me? Triple, I can hear myself. Triple, I can hear myself. Okay. Triple T, it's you, bro. I'm pointing the finger at you. Yeah, DJ. Bro, add me, add everybody, join the Discord, get in these lobbies, bro, because they will help you. They'll drive behind you, they'll correct your line, they'll help you, you know, if you're braking too soon, if you're braking too late, if you're not gassing enough through a turn, they will help you, bro. They will help you, myself included. You know, I think I'm at a point now where certain tracks I can actually be of benefit to people. You added me? What's your gamer tag, bro? I'll check. I'll make sure that I added you up. Oh, it was your headphones? It's all good, man. You had me over here worried, bro. I was like, oh, man, wait a minute. I'm going to have to unplug my microphone and try and figure out where the source of the problem is. All right, guys, let's do the reveal. You guys want to see how much DR I've gained since I started today? I want to put this into perspective. When I started today, I had maybe this much DR. Barely, a little bit more than what I would consider a sliver. So let's back out and see where we're at here. Yeah, boy. Yeah, we're over halfway through AR ready, bro. Oh, we're already friends? All right, bet. Yeah, I do have you. Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if you were under a different gamer tag or not. I apologize if there's any inappropriate names in here. Yeah, we're already friends. Yeah. I remember now seeing you on my list, like my trial times and all that stuff, my lap time list. You're on there, so I do have you on here. But yeah, bro, if you ever want to learn, dude, just jump in these lobbies with them. You know, I know that they usually run lobbies later in the day, but that doesn't mean that there's not lobbies that are open, you know, during the day, or maybe people who would be considered, you know, down to consider opening a lobby throughout the day. You know, I know most people don't because a lot of people are busy. You know what I mean? A lot of people are at work or whatever, so. But just shoot me your availability. If you're in the Discord, man, hit me up. If you want tips and tricks, I have an entire playlist on YouTube that you can watch. It'll help you. It's the same process I did. And to be honest with you, bro, like the fastest way to get fast is to subject yourself to the misery of driving with people who are much faster than you are. You know, you'll find your place. You'll find the people that you can pace with and hit the race with. If you're in the back and you're racing with certain people, That's perfectly fine. Follow them until you're faster than them, and then follow the person in front of them, and so on and so forth, bro. That's the exact same way that I did it, you know. And it's not, bro, it's not easy. Like I'll sit here and tell you right now that I'm not natural. Well, I am naturally talented to a degree with racing. I understand it, but the actual art and act of doing it, not so much. I have put so much time behind this wheel, bro. Since I've gotten this game 4 months ago, I've put 109 hours and 26 minutes on the steering wheel. There's 24 hours in a day. So I know in hindsight that's not very much, but that's more than 4 full days worth of time on the wheel. So I've definitely been grinding extra hard, bro, to get where I'm at. And as long as you have that in you, bro, as long as you're determined and you want to learn and you want to get better, you will, no doubt. So how have you been though, DJ? How's your day, man? I know I just blabbed for a little bit. I'm honestly probably gonna hang out here for a little bit and kick it with you guys. Um, I do have work at 3 o'clock, so I am probably gonna shut the stream down around 2 p.m. So probably no more races, but I'll sit here and I'll talk to you guys for a little bit. Absolutely. That's my problem. I'd be too scared to race. You can't be, man. At the end of the day, right? It's just put another quarter in. You know, if you're pushing it and you wipe out, guess what? Try again. You know, um, the best way for you to learn is to race because time trials, yes, you'll get fast. Yes, you will be able to set lap times. You're the only one on the track. But even in top splits, racing with people and fighting for positions and having to brake a little earlier because you're neck and neck through the whole race, it slows you down. So behind you, people catch up. It's a whole different ball game, right? Um, Racing is the only way to do it. And if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't want to race online with random people, join these lobbies, bro. Photo will start you in the back. I'll start you in the back. You could race with us, pace yourself. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. We have an honor system where we have new drivers all the time or drivers at different skill levels. If you hit somebody, all you have to do is stop and give them their position back. Obviously you can't do it on purpose, but we understand people are learning. I'm still learning, bro. Like I'm still figuring it out. I don't have a high level of control of my car yet. Yeah, exactly, bro. Just have fun, get out there, bro, enjoy it, hang out with the guys. If you want to jump into the Discord at night and race with us and just have a good time, you will get significantly better very fast. Very fast because there's drivers and I'll include myself in this. I'll even start doing it now, I'll help you. Ace, when I first started, he'd slow down, drive behind me every race. He would coach me through a lap or two. All right, you gotta be in this gear at this speed. Let off the gas and coast here. You have to brake here. Let off the brake when you see this thing. And then he would pass me, and then I would have to follow him. And if I could keep up with him, then I'm learning something. And if I'm falling behind, then I know that I'm not implementing that advice properly. So, what's up, Logic? How you doing, man? Welcome in. How's your day going? Thank you for stopping into the room today. Everyone, I do hop online. I have fun, but sometimes I look at times that other people have and get discouraged. Let me here. Hold on. Look at this, right? When I first started, right? I'm gonna assume, yeah. Look, you're already faster than Chubby. So on my list, you're faster than one person, okay? And you're 2 seconds behind C2CD, right? That's the next guy on the list you got to chase, right? So the next time you're trying to post is 201, and chances are, if you're missing time, there's three places to look. You're not cutting the corners properly. You're not using the full length of the full width of the track. You're braking too much, and you're not gassing enough. Those are the three problems that you probably are having, right? That and maybe just comfortability on the track. You're not too sure when the turn's coming up or what gear to be in. Totally fine, bro. Just watch the replays, right? Hopping on G7 for the first time since month finally have time. There you go, bro. Dude, it's fun. I have a hard time stepping away from it, to be honest with you. I love it, man. So glad to have you back, man. This is a good community, man. If you really want to, if you're down for it, feel free to jump in the Discord. We have 300 plus members, I believe, and we host lobbies all the time. So I was just talking to DJ about it. But look, I'll put this into perspective, right? Look at the amount of time that you have on the game, right, DJ? I'm going to help you gain this confidence that you're missing, okay? You have 16 hours and 58 minutes on the game, okay? C2C, who is only 2 seconds ahead of you, has 66 hours and 48 minutes on the game. So right there, you're missing 50 hours of knowledge of track time, you being behind the wheel, 50 hours on top of you, and he's only 2 seconds faster than you are. So use that for confidence, okay? Now I'll go all the way up here. Everybody in the middle here, they're all good. They've all been playing for a decent amount of time. You know, they have a good, decent understanding of the game. And we're going to go all the way up here, okay? The top 10, okay? Schechter is in the top 10, right? For instance, Sandy Wheels is an A-plus driver, okay? And he's 5 places behind me. So it's very, very, like, it's very dependent on the track you're at and the car you're in and all of that. You know, everyone's faster at different tracks and different cars. That's all that matters. Yeah, exactly. 100%, right? So you've been playing for 16 hours, okay? I've been playing for 109. And all 109 of those hours, I've been focusing on getting better. He said, I have 658. Wow, dude. That's a lot. I mean, to be fair, I have people in the thousands, but I've only been playing this game for 4 months. So if you give me more time, if GT8 doesn't come out, then I'll be up there with you, bro. No time. But and if you really want to look at it, right? 109 hours is my time driven, okay? But if I back out, right, and I hover here, you'll see I have 484 total hours on the game. So even if I'm not driving, I have time watching replays, spectating races, analyzing, you know, track times and all of that. Like I have almost 500 hours in 4 months on this game in total when you factor everything in. I have not touched another game. I've played UFC 5 for 30 minutes the other day. That was it. But look, right? I'm halfway through A, right? Both of these people in 1 and 2, they're sisters. They are related. They are sisters. Bella is an A-plus driver, okay? She has 300 hours on the game. Yeah, she's pushing 300 hours on the game. She's on the same wheel that I'm on. She uses a G29. You know, Raina, who's right behind her, or Rihanna, I don't want to pronounce it wrong. I probably did either way. This is her alt account. She has 22 hours on the game on this alt account, which obviously is not anywhere near, you know, accurate. Captain Slowly, right, who's significantly faster than me everywhere, has 333 hours on the game. So, like, you got to think, everybody up here, bro, is just has flooded this game with time. You know, Moto has 280 on the game. I got to get back to driving that. Oh, dude, I didn't show you. Before I jump off here in a second, the other day they finally put a car in the game that I've been looking to get since I started playing this game. When I first started, it was in the shop, and I didn't have enough credits. It came back into the shop. I had almost 30 million credits. Obviously, I'm nowhere near close to that anymore. Yeah, I've been playing since it came out a couple years ago. Yeah, dude, yeah. So you're clocking a lot of time, yeah. And you probably played sport. You probably put a lot of time into that too. This is my first Gran Turismo. This is my very, very first Gran Turismo. But I'm trying to get better. You know, I've dumped a lot of hours into the game very fast. Here we go. Here's that beauty, man. Here's the beauty. A 12 million BR car. Oh, this is how they get it in the movies. You just record. This is how they get their intros to be the way that they are. I never knew this. See, you guys are helping me figure things out still. The MP4 is 30 million. I'm too broke. Man, I spent a lot of credits. You got to do the challenges, man. The weekly challenges, do the time trials, get gold. You know what I mean? This is sick. See, I never knew you had escape movies. I only thought you could take photos. So I'm over here trying to figure out how they're getting their intros to have this in it. You know what I mean? Now it's fair game, bro. You wanted it so bad. It'll come back. Just save for it, bro. Just keep saving for it. I only have 15 million credits. You know, it takes a while to get, unless you're doing the offline races, like you're not really gonna gain much CR. You know, unfortunately, you know, I feel like you should gain a lot of CR in higher level races online. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, if I didn't love my job, I put my 2 weeks in the other day, right? Because we're moving. If I didn't love my job and I didn't value it, then I would have called out today. I probably would have just put my 3 days notice in. But I love my job, so I have to go. Because I really, dude, I feel like if I spent the next couple hours doing race B, I could hit A plus. I genuinely feel that way, and I'm so worried that next week's races are going to be different. But guys, with that being said, unfortunately, I'm going to call it to an end here. I still have to shower and get ready and let the dogs out and get them fed for the afternoon and put laundry in. And because if the missus comes home right when I'm about to leave and nothing is done, man, I'm gonna have red butt cheeks, and I'm gonna have to sleep on the couch, and you guys are not gonna see me later tonight or tomorrow at any point in time. She's gonna be like, "You streamed yesterday and didn't do anything, so time to do everything around the house." So, as an upstanding citizen and valued member of my household, I am gonna call it a stream and go do my due diligence and take care of my responsibilities and be an adult, even though I don't want to right now because I'm not supervised, but I have to. So thank you guys. Triple T, thank you for popping in. I know you've been asking for a couple of days when I'm going to be back on. Here I am once again. Uh, and I hope that you had a good time with the a little bit amount of time that you were able to come in and hang out. I will be back on tomorrow for a whole 24-hour live stream. So you guys are going to see me leave to go to the bathroom and get food and the whole nine. So I'm ready for it, bro. DJ, thank you very 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 much for hanging out with me, man. I will catch you on the game at some point. We'll get into a lobby. I'll answer all your questions. You could jump in the Discord. You know, I'll coach you to the best of my ability. You know, and in your free time, if you want to take the time out to jump on YouTube and look on there and learn from them, absolutely do that. You know, absolutely. Logic, thank you for popping in for the first time ever, man. I appreciate that so much. New people are very, very valued here. I do not take anybody's participation in the stream for granted. I love all of you guys equally and the same. No one here, I don't play favorites. No one here is ranked higher than anybody else. I'm just appreciative that I'm able to do this and have people watch me race. Jay, I know you weren't in here. You're faster than me, so slow down. Ace, thank you for popping in. Eric B, thank you so much for coming and hang out. Who else was in here? Nugganetics. Nugganetics popped out, guys. He came in and hung out. Dave, you're a real one. Shout out to Dave and the late, great Mama. It's not here. You guys are awesome. Moto came in to show love. If you guys don't know, before I jump off here, tomorrow Moto is hosting an F Cancer 400 miles, 4 hours long Nürburgring race. You guys don't have to be fast. You guys do not have to stay the whole race. If you guys want to show up and show out to support Moto and his family as he is dealing with a hard time. His mom was diagnosed with cancer. You guys can add me, come race with us. Again, you don't have to be there the entire time. You guys can just pop up, do a couple of laps, hang out for as long as possible, and just show your support. I know he would really appreciate that. Again, it is not mandatory, but tomorrow I will be doing the entire 4-hour stint with Moto in an attempt to, offer the best that I can offer from far away and give my support to him and his family. So that's going on tomorrow. New dailies tomorrow. RSR lobbies tomorrow. Week 5 Vibe League practice tomorrow. Everything is happening tomorrow. So again, one last time, thank you guys very, 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 very much for coming in and hanging out with me and spending your time with me, guys. It's been fun. My name is Kid, and I'll catch you guys on the flippity flip.
Reached.
I love you guys, man. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out, man. I know you probably can't hear me over the music. I just wanted to say one more time.
Ice real squad race.
Tomorrow.
All done. Feel about real squad race.
Hi and bye, Mrs. Moto. Hi and bye.
Real squad racing.
Thank you for
We
stopping
leave
in.
it all out on that pavement. We go by real squad racing, real squad racing. Hey, dangerous racing, real squad racing. Come get you some, we living dangerous. Ay. We RSR and we got Zilla in the cockpit. Beast mode is ignited. Eric BB shifting gears, of course the rivals get it slided. Trust when photo hit the gas, you see his tail lights blinding. Kid up on the put in work and dude is vicious. Zeroing on opposition, pass them up, no way they winning. You know it's real squad racing. Leaving marks on the pavement, no second places. We driving hard, our tires blazing. If it's a thrill that you chasing, join the lobby, it's amazing. Join the lobby, it's amazing. All gas, no braking. Hitting corners, ain't no second places. We in first, you in last. If you ahead, you getting past. You might think it's funny now until we get the last laugh. Ha! Real squad racing, we the best. Plain and simple, you believe that this is sweet. Let's get it popping like a pimple. Go! Nightlights gleam, tires screaming like banshees. All you see is smoke and flames. We burning rubber till you can't breathe. Fuel in our veins, we put in work until we great. Got them engines roaring loud, ain't no way they being tamed. Hey, you know we real squad racing. All them other dudes a joke, they call us real squad racing. Our whole crew is full of ghosts. We burning rubber for a living. Think you better, man, you kidding. If it's a race you want the smoke, then come and get it. No, we live up to the hype, don't think we faking for an image. Straight whipping.